Hello, my name is Mandy McNeil from Work and Culture, and I'm going to guide you through this quick introduction to marketing your creative business. This presentation has been prepared by Jennifer Murray, who is a seasoned arts marketing professional who has worked in marketing for books, theaters, visual art, music camps, and museums. And we hope that her knowledge and experience can help you make your business a success. In this time together, we will look at marketing basics, marketing strategy, building your marketing plan, and marketing tactics. So let's start with marketing basics. What is marketing? The American Marketing Association says marketing is the activity, set of institutions, and processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offerings that have value for customers, clients, partners, and society at large. Don't panic. In other words, marketing is letting someone know that you have something they may need or want. So that could be a good, such as a piece of jewelry, a carved bowl, a painting, a book, or handcrafted soap, or a service. In a creative business, a service could be an experience like attending a theater performance, a film, a concert, or hiring design services. As you can see, goods are tangible. You can hold them in your hands and keep them, while services are intangible. You can't hold them, and you can only have them for a limited time. The steps in this kind of interaction usually are 1. Creating, 2. Communicating, 3. Delivering, and 4. Exchanging. For example, you create beautiful hand-painted silk scarves. You attend a local show where attendees stop for a nice chat about how you make these, and that's the communication part. They purchase one as a gift and hand over their credit card, the exchanging part, while you wrap it up. Now you're delivering. So why is marketing important? Famous showman and businessman P.T. Barnum once wisely said, "Without promotion, something terrible happens. Nothing." You have a great concert planned, you've created beautiful clay objects, or you're making the most beautiful soaps and bath oils. Isn't that enough? No. People can't buy your creations or order tickets if they don't know about them. That's where marketing comes in. First, you have to think about who might want to buy your paintings or baskets or tickets or design services. And then you need to think about how to reach them, what to charge them, and then what to tell them. You need to find the right people at the right price, in the right place, and at the right time. This takes planning, the most important step in marketing your creative business. So why is planning so important? Planning makes you focus your thoughts and figure out where you want to be and how to get there. Planning is the most important step in your marketing efforts. Of course, you also need to implement those plans and then evaluate. But on to more marketing basics. I'm sure you've heard people talk about the 4 Ps. The 4 Ps are product, price, place, and promotion. Product is the good or service that you create. Price is what you're charging and what people will pay for it and why. Place is where people will find your goods or services. This could be in a store, at a festival, online, or at a gallery. And then promotion is the most famous of the 4 Ps, and it's how people will discover your product. Marketing strategy. In this section, I will talk about marketing strategy and the information you need to have thought about before you start planning. So why is a marketing strategy important? Developing a marketing strategy is a chance to think about where you want to get to and how you will get there. It's your roadmap. It will give you and any of your employees focus and direction and enable you to make thoughtful decisions. There are many good ideas, but sometimes you have to focus on a few and resist the urge to go off in another direction altogether. Developing a strategy. To begin developing a marketing strategy, you need to ask yourself some questions. Some of these may be, what's special about me and my art or my creative business? What's happening in the market or community? What does the future look like? where do I or my business want to be in the short term and in the long term? How am I or we going to get there? Now it's time for a SWOT. A nice simple way to start thinking about these is a SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Let's start with the factors that are internal to your business. Those are your strengths and your weaknesses. So what are your strengths? Some might be, I am an award-winning designer, or our business has a strong, dedicated staff, or our orchestra has the best trained and highly regarded musicians in the region. Or, I love social media and have 1 billion Twitter followers. These are all things that make you special. Now your weaknesses. Some examples are, I'm so bad at the accounting side of the business. Or, I'm too shy to tell the world that I'm the next greatest painter in Canada. Or, we've just lost half our staff and are busy staffing up, but they'll be unfamiliar with the business for a while. These are things you'll want to address in your planning. Opportunities and threats are external factors to your business, things that might be happening in the market or community that will affect your planning. Some examples of opportunities might be a new artist in the schools program funded by the local arts council, or a corporation interested in bulk tickets to your concert for their employees, or a new local store interested in stocking your handmade soaps, or a small chain of seniors' homes interested in short plays performed for their residents on a regular basis by your theater company. So what might some threats be? Perhaps funding for a theater in schools program has been cut, or there's a new fabric artist exhibiting in the same craft shows in your area, or new technology advances make your box office program obsolete. Now's the time to roll up your sleeves and do a SWOT analysis for your business. On a piece of paper, sketch out 4 boxes and write strengths in the upper left one, weaknesses in the upper right one, opportunities in the lower left, and threats in the lower right. Try capturing 1 or 2 in each box. Accompanying this presentation is a SWOT example to give you some ideas. Now think about what weaknesses or threats you can and must address right away. Do you need to do some more research? How can you build on your strengths? How can you jump on those great opportunities? Environmental scan. There might be some outside factors that affect your marketing strategy and your future that you want to consider. Think about the demographics in your region. Is there a whole pocket of the population about to become seniors? Are the elementary schools bursting at the seams right now? Are babies everywhere in your community? How's the economy doing? Are people feeling the pinch, or are they spending to beautify their homes or pamper themselves? What's the political atmosphere? Is there an election coming up that might affect arts funding and resources for entrepreneurs? Is changing copyright legislation working in your favor or threatening your income? Will upcoming technologies change how you communicate with your customers? Are they staring at their mobile phones 16 hours a day? Or are they in cafes reading 3 newspapers each morning? Marketing research. Some research might help clarify some decisions with regards to your marketing planning. Marketing research is the process of gathering and analyzing information that will help you make informed decisions to solve marketing problems. This information can come from internal sources like sales reports, customer reports, your website analytics, and your social media channels. It could come from market intelligence gathered by talking to people in similar businesses, belonging to associations, or reading industry publications. And it can come from marketing research. There are 2 kinds of marketing research data available to you, primary and secondary data. Oddly enough, I'll actually start with secondary data, because this is the information that's already available. Using existing data saves time, effort, and money. Places to look for existing data are Stats Canada, your industry associations, or even your local library. And of course, I've already mentioned your own sales reports, customer reports, web stats, and social media information. Information like this shows trends such as buying patterns in your field or for your own products. Now, sometimes the data you're looking for is not available and you need to do some primary research. This used to be expensive and was undertaken by research firms, but now there are inexpensive ways to get information and insights into your business. There are 4 types of research methods: observation, qualitative, quantitative, and experimentation. Observation is the easiest and most inexpensive. You're likely already observing what prints sell the most and what shows sell out or which books sell more. Qualitative research uses exploratory techniques like focus groups and interviews. You might already be doing some of these things by talking to patrons in your lobby or browsers at craft fairs. You could extend this and hold focus groups with patrons and non-patrons, perhaps offering them free tickets, a free basket, etc., as an incentive to share their thoughts. This is a great way to gather reactions and impressions of your work or plans. Quantitative research collects a large sample of data and presents the findings in a numerical fashion. You have likely taken part in phone, mail, or online surveys of this type. Online tools like SurveyMonkey are inexpensive and easily available, so you can get a lot of information quickly from current and potential customers. It truly is fun to see these results come in, and sometimes the findings are surprising. You could use this to research quantitative issues. For example, what's the most popular in a list of potential creative services you could offer? Experimentation compares responses of the same or similar people under different circumstances. Publishers have printed 2 versions of a book cover to test which sells more. So how might you try experimentation in your business? The research process looks like this. Review the current situation. What is the need and what's being done at this point? Select the research method, keeping in mind the effectiveness and the costs of different methods. Conduct the research, analyze the results, and apply them to your marketing planning. Different kinds of markets. There are 2 kinds of markets: business and consumer. Consumer markets come to mind the most because we're all consumers and our goods and services are developed with consumers in mind. A consumer is a member of the general public, someone interested in the arts who can and will pay for it. Business markets are companies or organizations that appreciate your cultural product and are willing to buy it. They could be retailers, corporations, professional organizations, government, educational institutions, or not-for-profit organizations. These organizations might purchase to resell or for their own or their employees' use. A gift shop may buy your pottery to resell. A law firm may buy a painting, not just to add beauty to the office, but to make a statement that they support the arts. A company may buy a large number of concert tickets as a gift to employees or a shared team building experience. When we talk about marketing to consumer markets, we talk about B2C, or business to consumer. When we talk about marketing to business markets, we refer to it as B2B, or business to business. You likely will be doing a combination of B2C and B2B marketing. For example, your company designs beautiful high-end custom furniture. You have a number of high-end design stores that resell your product, but you're always looking for more. This is the B2B part of your business. But you also attend some upscale craft and design shows and take custom orders directly from the public. This is B2C. Marketing goals. All this information will help you set goals, an important exercise in your marketing strategy. Goals are part of your roadmap. Goals and objectives are often confused. A goal is broad and lofty. The objective is specific. So a goal might be to be the go-to web design firm for visual artists, or to be the troupe when people think about attending a puppet show in such and such a region. I'm going to talk about objectives later in the marketing plan section. Right now, let's talk about positioning. Positioning is the place that your product has in the mind of the consumer, especially in relation to other products or services. A certain product is perceived as a premium or high-end, and another is considered competitively priced. Let's think about coffee. When I say Starbucks, what do you think? When I say Tim Hortons, what do you think? My guess is that Starbucks evokes high-priced, exotic, lots of choice, fancy hot and cold beverages. For some, a welcome treat, or for others, an expensive habit. And when we think about coffee for the regular person, something inexpensive, the you know what you're getting type of thing, we think of Tim Hortons. So what kind of positioning do you want for yourself? Your brand. I'm sure you've heard the term brand. Talking about brands is complicated and confusing. A brand is not your logo or your slogan or even your corporate identity, although they are important to your brand. It's much more than that. In fact, everything you do says something about your brand and the values and goals of the business. Great brands communicate a benefit, trust, consistency, and sometimes even belonging, and they differentiate you from your competitors. So now it's time to define your brand. Here are some questions you need to think about and talk about with your colleagues. What does your company represent? What are the features and benefits of your products? And how would you like your customers to think and feel about your business? Though your logo or slogan are not your brand, they should align with how you define it. The same goes for your packaging, your website, your theater programs, your e-newsletters. In fact, all communication about your business. It's so important to be consistent. Now it's time to build your marketing plan. With all the thinking you've done, you want to start drafting your marketing plan. Take out your computer or iPad or even just a pad of paper and start to jot down the ideas that come to you in each section. Goals. I talked earlier about marketing goals. Goals are top level and not too specific and often quite lofty. They might be to be the household name comedy troupe in Canada. But it's objectives that move you along to success. In marketing, we always talk about setting SMART objectives if they're to be effective. SMART means specific. It needs to be articulated in a very clear way, not vague. The M is for measurable. You need to have some kind of measure so you can see if you're reaching your goal. A for attainable. Stretch yourself, but make sure that your goals are realistic and achievable. R is relevant. Your goals should be relevant to what you are reaching to achieve. And T for time-based. You want to put timeline and deadlines to your objectives. Let's think about some marketing objectives. Most obvious is sales figures. How's this? Objective, sell more jewelry. Compared to objective, sell 500 pieces of jewelry in a 12-month period. Is this specific? Yes. Measurable? Yes. Attainable? Probably, but we would have to know the current sales history. Relevant? Likely. Time-based? Definitely. But sales are not the only objectives. You might want to garner media coverage, win awards, develop a particular audience, reduce staff turnover, and so on. Target audiences or markets. These are the people who will be interested in your product or service. If you think everyone will be interested in your product, think again. This is just not the case. You need to think carefully and realistically about who your product would appeal to. Not only will this help you think of where you can find these people, but it will help focus the message and help with figuring out what to say to them and then how to say it. When we think about target markets, we usually think about demographics. That is, age, gender, education, language, region, ethnic background, income level, marital status, child status, religion. But then we also think about what we call psychographics. That is, personality, values, opinion, attitudes, interests, and lifestyles. Some examples are, a funky fashion designer knows that her audience is female, 22 to 29 years old, living in an urban setting, who are looking for workplace-appropriate but fun fashion. Another, a community-based theater company targets local baby boomers, who might be 55 to 69, with disposable income, perhaps empty nesters who are now enjoying getting out for a night on the town. They also enjoy running into the neighbors at cultural events and to be seen supporting local artists. So who is your target audience? Think by age, by gender, by where they live, by what kinds of things they do. Keep in mind that you might have a number of target markets, especially if you're marketing to both businesses and consumers. Knowing your target market will tell you how to slant your communication to them and what vehicles will reach them. Positioning. We've talked about this already. Positioning is the place that your product has in the mind of the consumer, especially in relation to other products or services. This will direct some of your marketing activities. Is your product high quality, expensive, or well priced? Is it tailored for a specific market, a niche market, or does it have mass appeal? Now I want you to sit down, consider your business positioning, and write a positioning statement. In doing this, consider the benefits of your good or service and the emotional resonance it has with your customers. Think about other products that are like yours and what differentiates yours. Consider what you do or provide, who your target market is, and what your focus is. Keep it short and ask for feedback from others in or outside of your organization. An example of a positioning statement is, for Belleville and area residents, Pigeon Brain Theater is the performing arts experience in the region, having delivered award-winning and highly acclaimed theater for 25 years to thousands of delighted audience members. Let's go back to the 4 Ps. Let's circle back and think about what our good friends, the 4 Ps. These 4 key marketing activities are what we call the marketing mix. Product. A product is a good or service that satisfies a consumer need that is exchanged for something, most often money. So first you need to define your product. What's the thing or experience you're offering? What does it do for the consumer? And what features and benefits does it offer? Think about your target market. Who wants or needs this product? What's their profile? What makes your art or business different from your competition? This information will help you describe your product or service to others, showing them the benefit of buying yours. Price. This is what you're charging the customer for your product, whether a handmade vase or a subscription to a concert series. Setting prices is quite tricky. Things you need to think about are what your competitors are charging for a similar product, and how your product compares, and what the costs are to produce your creative product. Costs like rent, utilities, staff costs, materials that you need to produce your art, shipping costs, and marketing costs are important, but so is the time it takes you to make the product. Place is where your good or service is available to the consumer, where they buy. You can choose direct distribution. This is where you sell your product yourself at a store, your theater or studio, a show, or on your website. Or you can have someone else sell your product in their store, ticketing system, or on their website. Or you can do a combination of the two. Promotion is the most visible of the 4 Ps. Some of the promotional tactics or tools that you can use are personal selling, online marketing, social media, sales promotion, advertising, public relations, or direct marketing. You'll not use all of these, but pick 2 or 3 that fit your business and budget. I'll get into more detail on each of these in the next section. Budget. Yes, you knew we had to get to the issue of setting a budget. You likely already have an idea of how much you have to spend on marketing. Before it's cast in stone, go through the process thinking about what promotion tools you want to employ and get some ideas of the prices. Create a spreadsheet listing the various activities with a column estimating the cost. You might create one beside it to track your actual spending. In this section, we have covered the strategic part of your marketing plan. You thought about your goals and objectives, how you want to be positioned in the marketplace, your pricing, who you want to reach, and how they can find you. And finally, the cost of reaching your target market. This is the thinking part. It's your plan. Now I'm going to go through the promotion tactics, the doing part. Marketing tactics. Let's consider the different vehicles you could use to reach your market. Make sure your marketing tactics you choose are relevant to what you're selling, and keep in mind you don't have to do all of those. Perhaps you want to pick 2 or 3 to start with. Personal selling. Whether you realize it or not, you're selling all the time. When you talk to someone about your business, be it your neighbor, aunt, banker, prospective landlord, employees, or even when you fill in a grant application, you are selling. There are 3 steps in selling your good or service. Research and preparation before the sale itself when you're communicating with your customer or client, and the follow-up after the sale to ensure a satisfied customer. Before you contact your potential customers, you need to research who these may be and find a way to get in touch with them. You did that in developing your plan. The next step is to engage with the customer and talk to them about your good or service and gauge their interest. I'm sure you've heard the term closing the sale and have been a participant in this. You might have heard, "How would you like to pay for that?" Or "The 40% off offer ends tomorrow." Or "Would you like a box? Is it a gift?" Or "Would you like to sign up for a subscription series?" These are statements or questions designed to close the sale. You want to know that your customer is satisfied with their purchase. The best customers are repeat customers and those that spread positive word of mouth. If appropriate, follow up to see that they are pleased with their purchase and encourage them to sign on to an e-newsletter list, like your page or Facebook, or share it with their friends. Online marketing. Online marketing will be integrated into all of your marketing activities. You likely already have a website up for your business, whether you're engaging in e-commerce or not. Your website is an important part of your business. It has to have accurate information, be well designed and edited, and kept up to date. Pay attention to how your website will be discovered online through SEO or search engine optimization. And you'll want to pay attention to who is visiting your site and how they're finding it by reviewing your website analytics on a regular basis. There are also lots of marketing opportunities available online, including advertising, and some of those are described below, and public relations activities, including working with bloggers. Social media. You're likely already engaged in some social media activities, either for personal or professional purposes. Social media is attractive to creative businesses as you can engage customers directly at virtually no cost. Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube, and many other sites provide platforms to explore, but your social media activities need to support your overall goals, your identity, your key messages, and market position, as well as your marketing strategy. If you want a strong social media presence, start early. It takes time and effort to build that 1 billion Twitter following. Remember that social media is just that, social media, and blatant marketing messages are not embraced by the community. You need to take part of the conversation and share content your customers value, whether those are tips, recipes, or contests. And consistency is important. If you're going to tweet, be prepared to do so at least once a day. Follow others with similar interests and retweet. If you want a successful Facebook presence, be prepared to post interesting content regularly. Sales promotion. Sales promotions are activities that offer an incentive to purchase, either immediately or in the future. They generally improve the price-value relationship of a product or service and are used to encourage people to try something, purchase, and encourage loyalty. They can encourage customers to buy or buy more, get past customers back, get new customers, and drive sales during slow periods. Some sales promotions are discount offers, coupons, gifts, premiums, contests, loyalty programs, sampling, and group buying sites like Groupon and Living Social. Sales promotion ideas for creative businesses can also include things like special time limited show price or gift with purchases. Subscription series are a form of loyalty programs. Twitter contests offering products or prizes. Advertising. As you know, advertising is everywhere. On your TV, your computer, your radio, in the street, the subway, even in the bathroom stall at your local pub. This is space that is paid for to deliver a marketing message, and for some, it is mistakenly what they perceive marketing to be. Advertising is generally expensive and problematic unless you really have determined the costs and benefits. On the pro side, advertising can reach a lot of people very quickly. It can generate excitement, and you control the message. Some of advertising options are print, newspapers, urban weeklies, transit weeklies, magazines. Then there's broadcast. That's TV and radio. There's outdoor advertising, which can include billboards, transit, bathrooms or bars, benches, and garbage cans. And then there's online, which are many advertising options online, website ads, Google ads, AdWords on Facebook, etc. When you're thinking about buying advertising, you need to consider your reach. How many people from your target audience you're reaching with your message? And then consider frequency. How often do they need to see or hear your message? Public relations, often shortened to PR. Public relations is about managing the image of a company, person, or organization. You can find templates and samples online. This can be done through working with various media outlets to convey your message through sponsorship or printed or electronic materials. Some of the available tools are press releases, press kits, press conferences, public service announcements, publicity campaigns, working with bloggers, sponsorships, and then printed materials such as brochures, postcards, bookmarks, newsletters, etc. Media relations is working with the media to get coverage in various outlets, including newspapers, magazines, radio, TV, and online forums for your art or business. This could be feature stories, reviews, interviews, or blog posts. The tools used to help this along are press releases, press kits, public service announcements, publicity campaigns, and blogger relations. The pros to media relations are any mentions in the media have third-party credibility, which means it's not your mother writing that glowing review of the show at your gallery. The other perk is it's free, except for the time you've put in. The cons are that it's very hard to garner this attention in such a crowded marketplace. And you don't control the message. A reporter is free to write whatever they think about your paintings. Then it comes to the materials. These are the brochures, posters, postcards, bookmarks, etc. that you might want to produce to promote your business. I suggest that you begin with the end in mind. It might be very tempting to produce a beautiful poster, but where is this going to be displayed? Where are you going to distribute those 5,000 brochures? How are you going to use that lovely series of postcards? Think it through. Direct marketing. Direct marketing is selling your products directly to your consumers by mail, by post, or via email, through catalogs or flyers, by telemarketing, or door-to-door marketing even. And of course, nowadays, we have mobile marketing. Direct marketing can be expensive, but it can also be measured. by the number of responses or inquiries you see. And you can test pricing and package options, and you can develop your own customer lists. So let's review. Wow, that was a lot of information. We're almost at the end of the session. It's been a lot to take in. So let's recap. Now you know what marketing is. You know some marketing basics and how important it is to plan the marketing activities for your creative business. Remember, marketing needs to be planned in advance and not just a reaction to a slow period. Now you've started to think about the marketing strategies for your business, and you've thought about some marketing objectives. You've thought about who your target markets are, and that's going to help you sort out where to find your buyers, how to talk to them, and what you're going to say. You've already given some thought to your 4 Ps, product, price, place, and promotion, and you've thought about your positioning. You should have some ideas about how some inexpensive marketing research methods might shed some light on some issues for your business and give you some insights into your consumers. And you've started some of the basics for your own marketing plan for your business. Remember that the time you spent thinking about the strategy side of things, like your objectives, your target audiences, your positioning, will pay off in the end. And remember that the tactics, the things you do, should flow from the strategic things you've thought about, like target audiences and key messages. You don't want to try to do everything. Choose 2 or 3 tactics to start with. And don't forget to evaluate. You don't want to keep doing something if it's not getting the results you want. I hope you've enjoyed this session and found it useful. And I hope that you will have fun planning, implementing, and evaluating the marketing activities for your creative business, and that you see some really great results. Good luck!